What you doing up there? Yeah.
That's about right, bro. It's nice to get away a little bit, see some places.
Oh, is that right?
How's Mike doing? Good. He's still at the northwest. Yes, huh?
So like Nancy said that Mike moved Sarah was last night.
He's always like a little bit younger girl, has to.
Oh, is that right?
Years younger. Younger than they are. I'm going to stay young.
But he got probably right after the microwave.
There are a million of them.
Oh, I know it. I almost got teacher did try 3 different ones.
And if I hadn't been the second time,
Is there anybody there working at the northwest now?
I don't think so.
They shitting ass?
Go up a grade and take the class. That's what we think. Well, we had one teacher
We tried to always move the kids, but she's obviously an assumption she's had.
Well, I don't see any problem there. I mean, there's no teacher.
I did one with that one class I had 2 years ago that were, if you could pick kids. I don't have classes like that. They were wonderful. They were just, I couldn't wait to go to school. I thought, maybe I should teach 4th and just continue. And what will I do?
Jean still runs one out of the world.
Joe mainly got the one on Island. So he sold the one on Dry Creek after he opened and got it going.
They're all the same.
And he does real well. They are kind of thinking about getting
Like getting married again?
Yeah, she works at
Well, what's that? This is class.
They're not large classes. 20 max.
Is that right?
and she stopped showers at night. I'm like,
Watch out for the baby.
Are you going to white balance on his skin?
This is kind of cruel.
What? White
Hey, Mark.
balance on, is that a movie term?
Yeah. When you
Movie
teach
business,
movie
you
Mark,
just-
you'll
movie
understand
things.
all about white balance. Ron usually does it on my phone.
I think he used me. Okay.
Isn't he cute?
look at the crying baby.
Mark, are you? Ooh, I didn't put that
Stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back.
down. Wait, Jill, we're trying to get him on the move. Come on.
Stay back.
Come on. Oh.
It's right up on the toes.
Oh, I'm tired.
Boy, am I having fun. Yeah, this is a good time.
Next is thrown up. I haven't had much time.
This is just such fun.
We waited too long. Okay.
Situations.
How you
Or
getting
you
there?
both?
Ken's sister's taking
We're union without a contract. So we don't want to use
One more night.
One more pack and then
contract.
How about taking some cornhole for yourself?
So Jack's
No,
I think they're probably
Yes, that's enough.
Jill, an answer,
I got two
got
down.
the
One
bill.
down.
But, you know, I got second by
Thanks for
that.
doing that Broadway job downtown and around the church.
Oh, yeah. They just blew down the.
We've got both of those going. And
They both have what they call Union Green, which is a nose dry claw. Unions are cut. He's setting it up. It's just,
Get mentally into the
you know, a lot of NRP, he just couldn't compete. He just couldn't get busy.
Very momentous happened. I was born. 1955, Bill moved to Lafayette, Louisiana, and was promoted to production and drilling superintendent for all the Gulf of Mexico operations. The Southern Production Company, and then Southern Production Company, which had been Danzig, was acquired by Sinclair in November of 1956. Bill was transferred to Silsbee, Texas, as assistant district superintendent. He then went on to assistant division production superintendent in Houston, and in 1960 he was transferred to Tulsa as the assistant division production superintendent there. He was promoted to drilling and production manager of the Western region in February of 1962 and was in charge of the drilling operations for the Ugnu discovery well at the Capart field in Alaska. This was all part of the Sinclair activities. And when Sinclair was merged with Atlantic Richfield in 1969, and Bill became drilling and production superintendent for the Rocky Mountain District. His duties in Denver in the Rocky Mountain District since that time have been as operations manager, as acting district manager, and he's presently district operations manager. Bill, one thing about you is you've been awfully hard on district managers. You kind of go through them like you go through an old cheap pair of shoes. I don't know who all has been district manager here in Denver since you came here in 1962. But, that's right. And a number of folks here tonight. There are several folks who would like to speak, and we have some presentations to make. Let me just start off with Bob Speck. Because Bob, I think you have something you'd like to say and presentation to make.
Thank you, Bill. You know, let's face it, Bill Walther is a character. This last week, I've spent some time checking up on Bill and his career by talking to a lot of his old cohorts, and we could fill a volume that would fill this room to put all the stories down, which I've heard this last week. I think there's two criteria that Bill used throughout his career that exemplify him, and one was to keep costs down, and number two was to keep production up. And I had a story that was told to me about the cost criteria, and it seems that several years ago in a unitization meeting where Sinclair was the operator, they were planning a meeting in Casper, and the man who was putting the meeting on arranged the agenda and sent it down to Bill, and said at 10 o'clock we're going to have coffee and donuts. Bill immediately got on the phone and called up and said, "What's the matter? You're going to buy these clowns coffee and donuts at 10 o'clock. We're not going to give them anything." And, the guy said, "Well, you know, these other companies usually do that and have these kind of meetings. In fact, they usually take you out to lunch." And Bill said, "Well, all right, we'll have coffee, but no way we're going to have donuts." In fact, it's fitting here tonight, I noticed we had a cash bar. On the production side of the business, I heard an interesting story over several years ago. Sinclair had a very lucrative field in the DJ Basin that was producing about 2,000 or 3,000 barrels a day. And Bill very closely follows the daily reports of production. And if there's a slippage, he's going to be on the phone immediately. Well, this one morning he pulled out the report, and the previous day's report from this field, which was producing 2,000 or 3,000 barrels a day, was 0. So in about 5 seconds, he was on the phone to the superintendent up there. And this field, by the way, was producing on pump, and all the pumps were electric motor operated. And the superintendent said, well, we had a kind of an accident here yesterday. The plane was making an emergency landing and clipped the wires and cut the power to the pumps. And Bill immediately responded, that's no excuse. I could go on with these all night, I think. But, you know, I said Bill was a character, and that's certainly true, but I think in my own belief it's the characters in this business that makes things happen. And Bill Walter's a man who has made things happen, and we're really appreciative the last 3 years since I've been here with the exploration company, because Bill drilled for us with his very fine drilling group some of the weirdest wells probably ever drilled in the history of man. We're right now drilling the deepest well ever drilled in Montana, and just a month or so ago we completed the Broad Canyon well, which I really didn't think we had a prayer to get down, but it's mainly due to Bill Walker and his people that we made it, and that was a real tribute to them. And I just want to express my appreciation to you, Bill, for what you've done for us the last 3 years. We decided to give you this is a box of typewriter paper, decided to give you a plaque, and maybe you can come up later and look at it, but what it says, it's got a core on here of the Ten Sleep Formation, which is the main producing formation of the Rocky Mountains, and I think that was fitting. It says to Bill Walter for outstanding service 1981 to 1984, Barco Exploration Company. Bill, we really appreciate the great job you've done. I have one last duty to perform. There was a great mystery a few years ago in Bill's life that he never solved. And tonight we're going to come to the resolution of that mystery. So I'm pleased to call the superintendent that Bill called to make made that fantastic story about the airplane hitting the wires, Mr. Bud Parker. Bud.
What I want to do is make a little background of what I'm fixing to tell here. Mountain View Field at Sinclair expanded, which we inherited from the Western Natural Company, was a fantastic shallow field. Well, the old Sinclair Company sent a photographer out to take a bunch of pictures to put in their annual report. Bill helped out greatly in this, and the photographer appreciated the effort that he put out, so he sent back to him a 14 to 16 blown up colored picture of Boundary Butte. In 1969, the Barco merged the security tower building and the Lincoln Tower building. And there's a lot of confusion there. Part of us were leaving, part of us were coming in. At that time, I was trying to get out of my office to go to the land of the fruits and the fairies, California.
Land of fruits and berries. Usually they say fruit, but that's fruits.
What really irritates me, Ray Ulrich is trying to get in my office, and when I take a box out, he'd move 2 in. My last trip out of the Lincoln Tower building in Denver, I only had one little package in my hand. I walked in the lobby. There was a picture up on the wall. And I said, hey, I need something from Denver, I don't know whether I'll ever be back or not. So I've taken this picture. Bill, for 16 years, I've kept this picture. Now, I'd like to tell you, there's one other mystery that we need to clear up here tonight. How we got involved. Bill, later on, you can pick up your picture. Now, I did take the picture, but there's one other mystery. There was an artificial strawberry plant that was in that lobby that disappeared too. Now, everyone taking that, please stand up. People, I appreciate being at Bill's retirement party, and I came back in on a short trip from some family duties I've been doing. I'm flying out again tomorrow, but I wouldn't miss this for life, and thanks to me.
I guess that was 16 years of a guilty conscience. Feel better? Well, you kind of blew it for me there, Bob. I was going to, there's so much brass here tonight, I was going to just go arbitrarily by a descending order of height. Now it's Bill, so. Mr. Glenn Simpson, I believe you had a few brief remarks to make.
Being here this evening, just kind of like old home week. It really is nice to get together with the Arco family. You know, it's just a good feeling about it. And it's too bad we have to have a retirement to get together like this. But for whatever the reason, say, it certainly is enjoyable, and we're very happy to be here. Sue and I and Bill and Talene Wednesday night had dinner with a very good friend of ours. He's really the owner of this picture. Mr. and Mrs. Herb Reese. And during dinner, Herb was talking about the first time he met Bill. It was in the office down in Silsby, and everybody was dressed up but Bill, and he was in his khakis. And most of them was all around talking, but Bill, he said, was in the back room on the phone getting reports, and so Mr. Reese wanted to talk to him and interview him. And he went back and sat down, and Bill kept talking on the phone, but said not for very long because he was short, direct, and to the point, then, just like he always has been. Bill, you're a man that we admire, we love, and have a great deal of respect for. And you know, there are a lot of us who have a few traits that can be traced to when we worked with Bill Walter. Bill, we're going to miss the field trips with you. Not only that, we're going to miss getting to talk to you on the phone in your office, but we'll make up with that by seeing you, and we'll have more time, and maybe you will not have to be so short with us and can speak longer when we do have a conversation. Thank you again very much for having us here this evening.
working level again like Bud did. Thank you, Bill, for letting me come up here and say a few words to that bill. I guess that all of you know that it's a real pleasure for us that come from Dallas, especially those of us that have been in the trainee ranks under Bill Walther. And there's been a batch of us, believe me. Bill has a whole host of people in here that he's trained, and most of them have gone on to bigger and better things at one time or another. Now there are some of us that really proved to be a cross to bear for Bill Walther. And I speak particularly to those that are not, were not, have not been, and never will be petroleum engineers or good drilling operators. So Bill had to sweat through an Arnold Brackenridge just before me. And I came out here and he sweated for a year with me, and we started Bob Speck, the Corral Creek well, and then we drilled the Martins Creek well, and then we drilled Broad Canyon. And we never would have drilled the other two if I hadn't had the confidence that Bill Walther could do that kind of a job. And those of you that worked on that remember the difficulties and the agony, and a lot of money too, that we spent on that particular well. But I've known Bill a long time, a real long time as a matter of fact. I knew him up in Alaska when it was the old Sinclair and the old Richfield, and we were operating in the Yakataga area, Richfield was, and he was the guy